Hello and welcome to the 2021 Ontario Museum Association Certificate in Museum Studies graduation. We are thrilled to recognize 5 graduates this year and to share a little bit about the CMS program with you. The Certificate in Museum Studies, CMS, is a museum studies training program offered on a part-time basis for museum workers, both paid and volunteer. A certificate in museum studies is awarded to participants after successful completion of the 9 required courses that cover the basics of all areas of museum work. These are the 9 required courses on the screen. But what does it mean to have earned a certificate in museum studies? CMS graduates have learned from course directors, discussed their strengths, and brainstormed solutions with their colleagues, and they have gone back to their museums and made a difference in their communities. But before we get to the graduates, let's recognize the amazing course directors who make this program so engaging. Amy Barron, Heritage Programs Coordinator at Fleming College, helps participants to better understand and interact with their communities in museum and the community. Cindy Colford, Manager of Collections and Conservation at the Manitoba Museum, introduces participants to materials and agents of deterioration that affect them in artifacts. Carmen Lee, Head of Conservation at the Royal Alberta Museum, continues the conversation about agents of deterioration and how to manage the museum environment in care of collections. Kathleen Powell is the Supervisor of Historical Services at the City of St. Catharines. Kathleen helps participants understand that organization and management of museums is not a one-size-fits-all approach. Meredith Leonard, Senior Curator of Learning and Interpretation at Hamilton Civic Museums, teaches exhibit planning and design and education programs. Meredith helps participants to focus on audiences and to see these 2 topics as part of a holistic interpretive approach. Marcus Letourneau, Principal at Letourneau Heritage Consulting, teaches museums and historic buildings, helping participants to understand their museums as structures and landscapes with historic value. Amber Lloyd Langston, Curator of Regional History at Museum London, leads and encourages discussions and reflections about what museums are, what they could be, and our roles as museum professionals in museums and context. Janet Reed, Curator at Markham Museum, helps participants to understand the policies and processes that ensure that museums acquire and care for collections legally and ethically. We also wanted to take this opportunity to thank our outgoing course directors. Thank you to Gordon Robinson, John Summers, and Joan Canagan for supporting the CMS program and its participants. The online courses in the certificate are a great way for participants to access the program without having to book time off work and without the additional cost of travel. And these days, they are so necessary to how we learn. Due to the restrictions this past year, some participants were unable to visit host museums to get a behind-the-scenes look at museums across Ontario. We can't wait to visit and revisit museum hosts in upcoming years. And now the time has come to congratulate the 5 Certificate in Museum Studies graduates of 2021. Let's take a look at some of their favorite parts of the CMS program. Nadine Hammond is the Manager Curator of the West Parry Sound District Museum, also known as the Museum on Tower Hill. Nadine thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to network and meet other museum professionals during the CMS program. Congratulations, Nadine. Miguel Cisneros is the owner of Tennisport International, the tennis museum. Miguel was fortunate to travel to different museum sites before the restrictions were in place and enjoyed meeting so many great professionals and volunteers in the museum community. Congratulations, Miguel. Christy Cook is an education interpreter at Black Creek Pioneer Village. Christy found that all the CMS courses broadened her scope on the museum field, but she is not afraid to name exhibit design and artifacts as her 2 favorite courses. Congratulations, Christy. Rosa Marie Jones-Imhotep gained a glimpse into the diversity of museums across the province and was introduced to many amazing and dedicated people. Congratulations, Rosa Marie. Sarah Kaufman is the Managing Director Curator at Niagara-on-the-Lake Museum. Sarah found the CMS was a great opportunity to keep her skills up to date, gather new ideas, and learn from her colleagues. Sarah believes that continuing education, even if you've been in the field for a number of years, helps keep things fresh. And with that point, we have to agree. Congratulations, Sarah. Congratulations again, Nadine, Miguel, Christy, Rosa Marie, and Sarah. What a fantastic group of CMS graduates for 2021. We recognize the commitment that these graduates have shown on completing the 9 CMS courses over the past several years and wish them all the very best.